This week's throwback is X-Men. The original one came out July 14th, 2000. The movie was really exciting going back watching it because it's been a few years since I have seen it, and seeing Hugh Jackman be really young, Patrick Stewart being young, all these characters like young and fresh, and the potential when you watch this movie, just the amazing stories that they could tell, because literally X-Men is just a ginormous pool of characters. You just be like, all right, let's get this and let's get that. However, when watching this, I was a little sad. That's like, where's Beast? Like, he's one of the original guys, so it was a little frustrating not getting to see Beast in the movie. Bad guys, Magneto, Mystique, amazing. Toad. Some of the graphics, though.
It's funny because I had notes ready to go when I came here, but to be honest, I'm kind of looking at the original X-Men different after watching Logan. I feel that speaks to the power of Logan. But I'm going to go through my notes of what I initially saw when I watched it again, and I really enjoyed watching it again. I mean, there are some cheesy aspects of the original movie. The fighting is horrible. Everything with Toad fighting is horrible. It's hilarious, and the stunt work's bad, and it's okay. It's the time. That's just how it was. Comic book movies were not done very well at the time. I'm pretty sure the most popular one at that point in time would have been the original Batman with Michael Keaton, and that's pretty slapstick. So for them to kind of go this semi-serious route with the comic book movie and pull it off, in my opinion, is really good. One of the most powerful scenes in all of X-Men movies, outside of Logan, I definitely can't count Logan, is the beginning of this movie with Magneto at Auschwitz. That is a amazingly powerful scene. The way they present it and the way that they start the movie with that, it immediately tells you the motivation and the backstory of Magneto's character. It makes him a villain that's in the gray area instead of being black and white. And I have to appreciate that, because to do something like that in a comic book movie back then, where comic book movies were made mainly for kids, I have to give that applause. I really do.
You might look back and say, oh, the effects aren't as good as nowadays, the sequences aren't as amazing, but this movie is actually still really good. It sets a baseline. It puts all these characters in and sets them up for all the future adventures. So to anyone that would say that this movie is not good anymore, I think you have to reassess, if it's not that great, how they made all of these sequels with essentially most of the same characters. We have so many strong characters here. We've got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. We've got Patrick Stewart as Professor X. We've got Ian McKellen as Magneto. Right there, just those three, so great. Yes, there are a few misfires in this. We've got Toad, don't really care. We've got Halle Berry, who's one of our best actresses, Oscar winner, really doesn't quite pull off Storm, so when you put Storm and Toad together, it's pretty much the worst scene in the film.
The claws looked good, the Storm stuff looked good, Cerebro, that looked really well. Honestly, it's one of those movies where you can tell it's like, okay, we're gonna make this movie, we're gonna give you some money, and if it happens to do great, wonderful. And it did do good. Watching it, it made me feel like a little kid on Saturday morning watching the X-Men cartoon. Downsides, like I said, some of the characters were missing. Story, pretty basic story. You got bad guys, good guys. Bad guys gonna do some major thing that's gonna like screw over New York, and the good guys are gonna come in and save it, and they're gonna kind of all duke it out in whichever way. And then the way that they end it, you're like, oh yeah, there'll be another one. I feel the movie does hold up. I feel it's aged nicely. It's not like it's one of those movies where you're kind of like, man, everything is really outdated. If this movie were to come out today, I'd be like, not bad. Not bad. I would almost say this was like a low budget movie, and then the sequel's gonna have a gajillion more stuff because it made so much money.
It introduces Wolverine in a very cool way. It introduces Rogue in a very cool way. Instead of just going, this is who they are and this is what they do and this is their list of powers like they've done in other X-Men movies, you naturally come to find out who they are and what they're about. And I like that a lot. You see a story arc with Wolverine through the movie where you see the light side of him, where he kind of cares for Rogue and how he kind of likes what's going on at the mansion, and I enjoyed that as well. It was subtle, but it was well done. Now when it comes to the evil plan that they had, where Magneto's whole turning everybody into a mutant thing, it's comic book. I mean, it's pretty extreme. It's kind of weird. I mean, the idea of giving the power to Rogue that she can do it because she could stay a little longer and die, I don't know, that just seems stupid to me. But everything surrounding the movie was so well done, and I really enjoyed getting to know the X-Men and seeing the X-Men and the dynamic between Cyclops and Wolverine. All of that was great. I thought that it was a very strong movie, even with the stupid action that they did, especially the last fight with Toad fighting everybody at once. It was just really bad.
The theme of this movie is still relevant today. We basically have threat of persecution of immigrants gays, the ever-hated other people, and they're always out to get us, take our jobs, steal our country, and we have the self-righteous government folks who are going to thump their laws and get up and give passionate speeches about how much they love this country, and deep down they're just kind of horrible people. So here we are 17 years later, still a super relevant topic for this film. It's not over the top, it doesn't hit you over the head with it, but it makes it believable so that you can really get engaged with these characters and believe in them and feel passionate about what's going on the screen. Because there are some ridiculous things that happen. I have to say the plot device of, hey, we have this giant machine, we don't know who invented it, we don't know how it works, and it's gonna turn regular people into mutants somehow through the magic of refractive light technology powered by random mutants, whoever we just want to put up there, I guess, and it grows until it stops. Yeah, that doesn't really work too well, but this is a great introduction to the world of the X-Men, the world of the mutants, lays the groundwork, super entertaining, a lot of fun stuff. Most of the effects still hold up. I'm not a huge fan of the dark leather jackets. I feel like they could have gone a little bolder, a little brighter, but we get there in the next film and so on and so forth. So for me, still enjoy it, 9 out of 10.
I feel the humor was well placed. One of the greatest lines in the movie is, how can we be sure you're the real Wolverine and you're a dick? It's a great movie. It's a great line. It's a memorable line. It's a classic line, and I think that's one of the things that this movie has going for it. It's set up in a classic way. It tells a good story in a solid way. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's also not ridiculously slapstick like other comic book movies are. It's hard to compare this to a modern movie like Civil War. Obviously, Civil War has done leaps and bounds in learning how to write a good comic book movie, but I still feel this is a well-done movie, and it's a great place to start in the modern movie era. This is where modern comic book movies started. So I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. It loses a point for stupid fighting, but it gains for everything else. I loved the casting and the character design. It also gave us Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, which are just now you think they're synonymous, but there was a time where that was a casting choice. That was new to us. And it's kind of neat to go back and see that, because at the beginning they were great, and we just saw the end of the story, and that was great as well. So really cool seeing these movies together. It really makes a big difference. I suggest once you see Logan or before you see Logan, see the original X-Men. You'll thank us for it.
The movie was super enjoyable. Story was really good. Characters really good. They all looked the part. Yeah, granted, it would have been nice to have seen Wolverine in the yellow spandex, Cyclops in his blue spandex, all the kind of characters in their color-codedness, but at the same time, would it translate well to audiences? Probably not. So doing the black motif with the single little color on the X's, like if you pay attention, like Wolverine had like a yellow one, Cyclops had like a blue one. So for me, I'd give the movie an 8 out of 10. Super enjoyable, a lot of fun to watch. It's definitely one of those things you can throw it down with a group of friends, or introducing people, to something Marvel, or just good characters, good writing, good storytelling. Definitely one of those rare gems that comes around for a comic book. You're like, not bad. Go on ahead and favorite this video and like it. Hit that subscribe button. By doing that, you get more throwback reviews like this, plus regular reviews, unboxing videos, etc. Go on ahead, leave us some suggestions down there. What kind of old school movies would you like us to review, give opinions on, rate it, whatnot? We've got a couple before, and we have another one we're saving for later in the year, so you don't want to miss that. And remember, guys, you heard it here at The Source.